Welcome, everybody. So glad to see you here today. I am talking about messenger bots today. My favorite topic. Any of you know me know it's my favorite topic. Today, we're going to talk about how to put images in your bots, how to do it right, and how to do it if you don't want to break the bank. Corinder, hello. Good to see you. So, here's what we got going on today. Gonna talk. Oh, my name is RJ Redden, Black Belt Bots. Maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't, but I wanted to get it in there. Okay. So I've had a lot of clients ask me lately about images in bots. How many to put in there? Should you put anything in there at all? Should you use GIFs? That's a big question. How do you use video? Tons of questions. So I thought I would do a little show today on it. I got some information, but also, if you got questions, throw them in there, because this is also an Ask Me Anything about bots. I'm going to qualify that about bots. So Stacy's here. Now that's a party. Bill Vick is here. Hey, Bill. Looking forward to talking to you later, my friend. Great to see you all. So let's get started. So about how many images? People ask me this a lot. They get all excited about building a bot. And then I will say, okay, you need some branded imagery in there. And people get kind of twisted around the axle there. Because for most people who are not graphic designers, that's pretty intimidating. And then they're thinking, well, I'm going to have to call my designer. And then that's going to take 4 to 5 weeks and a couple of $100. And, folks get really wrapped around the axle about that. So I'm here to tell you that is not necessarily needed. There are ways to reduce that stress for you. Gail's here. Hello, Gail. Great to see you, my friend. So many people here today. Hello. So happy to see you all. Want to say about the rule of thumb about how many images. And this is in, kind of most bots is for every 3 to 4 blocks of text, put an image there. When I say image, I mean you can put an image and a photo, or you can use a GIF. GIF is those little 3-second movies that show people's reactions or cartoons dancing or whatever. That the GIFs might not be right for your bot. I try to write very lighthearted, casual bots because most conversations that I have are lighthearted and casual. But if you're in, say, the insurance business, or I have a lady that took my class in the funeral business. And so what if you're writing a bot there? Still want you to be able to break up those blocks of text. And here's why. It's because people know that it's a chatbot that's writing to them. You want to break up that. You want to make it easy to read. Okay, so a long time ago in a land far, far away, we used to be able to read long periods of text, and now we're just not that audience anymore. People don't read that way nowadays. We're USA Today, okay, not a Wall Street Journal. We are pictures, captions, stuff happening all the time, and so you do want to break those pieces of text up. So Corinder says, what about an intro on bots? How do you get intro on bot? Corinder, I'm going to need you to explain that question for me. Today we're talking about putting images on bots. If you want some extra info about what's a bot, what's going on with bots, what is she even talking about? If you're starting back from there, go to my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel. Got plenty of explainer stuff on there for you. And that will kind of catch you up and bring you back into center here. So what kind? Again, we've got images. Images can be really straightforward or they can be lighthearted and funny. We've got GIFs, little 3-second movies. Folks also use video in bots quite a bit. Now, here's where I've seen that be really, really successful. If you're a coach, If you are somebody out there who's providing relatively personal services, then having video in your bot is an excellent thing to do. Also, if you are a social media live streamer, somebody who produces video for a living, obviously you're going to want to have some examples inside your chatbot. But if you are a person who is offering, life coaching, business coaching, things like that, people often will, look at what you offer, but they're also looking at your personality. Video is a great way to put some personality, your personality, one-on-one, right inside a chatbot. So I have like image intro on bots. Like if people want to put an intro sending, Corinder, let's talk offline about what you're wanting there, because I'm still not understanding. I don't want to hold up the rest of the content. Let's chat offline about that one. Okay, so I've got 3 tools for you, and these are all free tools, and they all are great stuff that I use in my bots every single day. First one, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but Canva. It's canva.com. I'll throw it up there for you. This one is very nice. Now, .com. We'll just put that there for you as well. Canva.com is a great place to start. If you don't know anything about graphic design and images, rule of thumb, don't make it too complicated. But one of the reasons I suggest Canva is, of course, it's free. Love free tools, but it also has a ton of walkthrough stuff. It is hold your hand level walkthrough stuff on how to design. If you don't want to take your time doing that, they also have a ton of pre-made examples that you can just see one you like and go, I would like that, hit it, change the stuff a little bit, change the text and imagery to be your own, and go ahead and use those. So not only do they have walkthrough videos, if you've never designed before, they also have templates you can start from. Highly recommend canva.com. You probably don't ever need the professional subscription. I've got it just because I use them so much. But honestly, if you're looking for creation of images and you don't have a graphic designer, or you're working, you need to work on a huge timeline, go to canva.com. And I'm not getting paid to say that. They don't know about me. They get my $12 a month, and I think that's the end of our relationship. So I'm not getting money from recommending those people. Just to let you know, they are so great for first timers. And that is exactly what you need if you're first time, and you need somebody that is a program that'll hold your hand really well. And I think Canva does that. So Kimball, gotta love free tools. Yes, we gotta love free tools, don't we? We're small business owners, baby. We are wearing 17 hats. I'm not getting paid by them to say their name either. We are wearing 100 hats. We'll say that instead. We are doing everything under the sun. We have got to love free tools, but free tools that are also super worth your time. So Stacy says, although the biz version of Canva is great, if you do a lot of branded stuff, you are correct. You are correct. But that's, you know what? I think that I have used Canva 3 years. Just started paying them about 4 months ago. You can, if you're a small business owner, you can hang on that for a long time. If you love it, upgrade it. It's really nice if you're really into doing branded imagery and doing stuff in different sizes for different platforms, and it's great stuff. Anyway, to write a bot, free version's fine. Free version is fine. Here's another tool for you. Ready? Okay, this one I use quite a bit, and it is pretty fabulous. So we'll hit the show on that, bitmoji.com. Bitmoji, if you have ever, it's basically picking out a cartoon version of yourself that sort of looks like you. And if once you set those settings, once you kind of go through and go, yeah, my eyes sort of look like this and my face is sort of this shape and all of that kind of stuff. Once you set that, then bitmoji.com, what it does is it puts your character, your avatar, for lack of a better word, into different little, situations or whatever. It is, if you've ever played a Wii, it's the same kind of concept there, where it's just sort of it's just an cartoon image of yourself, basically. I love this because people get a huge kick out of it. And again, I write light-hearted conversational bots a lot of the time. And so I will, when you're in a bot like that, you want to reach out. You want to touch people. You want to make them smile. Bitmoji is awesome. Totally makes you smile. And again, free stuff. Yeah, RJ loves some Bitmojis. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely, darlings. That is happening. That happens nearly every day, actually. So, okay. Bitmoji to create a cartoon character of yourself. Go try it out. It's worth 10 minutes of your time. Those images, I have a ton of them saved onto my computer. I use them all the time in my bot imagery. And I encourage, when it's appropriate, people to use that in their bots as well. Okay, here's another one. Here is something that's pretty golden. If you want to use GIFs in your bot, those little 3-second reaction videos, I use those because I want to, again, I use images. I use a lot of them to sort of break up that text and to give my bot a feeling of more of my personality. GIFs are great because people know exactly what those things are. It makes people smile. That sort of stuff really can endear you to somebody, particularly if you are choosing GIFs that will respond to your target market. Now, I know a guy. Hey, Donald Brandt, good to see you. Lovely to meet you. Never seen you before. I hope you stick around. So with the GIFs, I will, my target market is people who are probably 35 plus, 35 to about, 65. I don't think that there's an upper age, but I tend to choose imagery. I tend to choose the GIFs as well that are stuff that my people will respond to. Like I'll use a little GIF from the Wonder Years because that is that's a little bit on that's probably 40 plus, I'll tell you, but I'll use stuff that I know that people of those ages will relate to and connect with. And that's really, really super important in a bot. So the GIFs are great stuff. Do search for what you want. That particular site is where I go for everything because it seems like they have more stuff added all of the time. And it's just great stuff. And also when you download the GIFs, they're small enough to use, in ManyChat, and that is great stuff. You want something always when you're using any type of video, you want something that loads fast, babies. People don't like to wait for stuff. So Teresa says, I'm under 40. I used to love Wonder Years. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is awesome stuff. 35 to ageless works for me. Barb Tomlin, love you. Glad to see you on the show today. That's wonderful. So those are three tools that will there's three free tools that will allow you to create a lot of imagery for your bots. Very important. One thing that I want to touch on a little bit is also emojis. I use emojis a lot. Once again, it breaks up the text, and the emojis are of course, just a tiny little image of a smiley face or a coffee cup or whatever it is. I will totally use emojis to break up text in my bot if I'm writing a list of things. I will put a little check mark by each, just like a bullet pointed list type of thing. This breaks up the monotony of looking at text. It's really great stuff. But I do want to encourage you to use your emojis wisely, grasshoppers. Please, I beg you, don't use so many that it looks like a ransom note. Those things really are annoying. I have completely cut off some bots because it's like, wow, I need you to use more text than you do emojis. That is just not, I'm not a Periscope user for the same exact reason. Okay. That is, so use your emojis wisely, sprinkle them in there, toss them in there when it's relevant. Don't spam emoji, folks, because that just, that can be really tough. When I'm struggling to reach your text, I'm going to stop. Most people feel the very same way. Ransom emoji. Oh, my friend, it happens. Very good. Very good. So do use those emojis wisely. And that, for imagery, I know it can be intimidating when you're getting in there the first time, but I tell you what, when it's well done, it will subliminally tell people they're in the right place. I tell people all the time, and it's in fact on the back of my business card when I go to actual in-person networking meetings. Yes, I do that sometimes too. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, I tell people all the time, go to checkoutmybot.com. And that is one of the ways that you can use to get into my messenger bot. But what's really important is that when people go there, they're able to see imagery that connects them to you or to your brand. And the reason why, it's just really, really simple. People want to know that they're in the right place. You don't have to tell them you're in the right place, but if you give them a little image, for instance, my logo for my company is a little ninja that is spinning dragon, who will greet you in my bot. By the way, if you do want little reminders for when I go live, just type live in the comments, and my bot will, Spinning Dragon will take care of that for you. But I have her little ninja face. I have it on my cards. I have it, I have it branded absolutely everywhere. And I put it in my bot so that when people see that image, they can go, oh yeah, okay, I'm in the right place. I didn't type in the wrong thing. I'm not being taken to some shoe ad somewhere. People want to know that they're in the right place. And so well-placed logos and things like that, branded imagery, can't get enough of talking about it. Kim Boltzmann, I think, is here, and she teaches people all about branding. She does a much better job than I do, much more cohesive. But I'm going to say that the reason why it's so important is, A, got to break up all of that text, and then B, you want to give something to people that they will bond with. Here's an article that I read lately that is super valid to this. And that is, when people do all of that voting on, I don't know, American Idol or any of those shows where you can vote for people get, tons and tons of people vote. People get really involved in it. They get emotionally connected to the people on screen. Why? Have you ever thought about why? We bond with people through their images. We're not necessarily bonded with people through text anymore. We do, but it's a much smaller, video is much more popular these days. The sight of your face, the consistency with which you show up, the value of the content that you offer, all of these things are so much easier to bond with you over a face-to-face than it is through a wall of text. That's why live streaming is awesome. That's why bots are awesome, right? So use this opportunity to bond people to your images. That's why I say with the Bitmoji, that's why it works so well, because that is an image of me. It's not exactly me. That it doesn't have colored hair. I have colored hair. But it isn't exactly me, but there are things. I have videos of my bot. I have different images of me in there as well. You want people to bond with that image. You want to, it's the no like trust factor, and it's on steroids. Very good. Let's see. Catching up on the comments. Kim says, hey, hey, Kim. Barb says, does your ninja bot work for others or must we have our own? Well, my friend, having your own is good. Having your own, owning your own, having it on your own page is good stuff. Come ping me, Barb, get on my calendar, and let's talk about that. Because, I don't even think Facebook would allow, me, one person to run, from, it has to be your on your own page, but, definitely would love to, talk to you about that. Let's see here. Envious of my colored hair. I will tell you this. Teresa, I don't know if you live near me, but if you do, Council Bluffs, Iowa, my dear sister, Renee Nguyen, runs a salon, Hello Gorgeous, and she does my hair, every month. And, we dye it peacock colors and it just makes me so happy. So now you know where I get my hair done. Shout out for my sis. Good. You have any more questions about bots in general or putting imagery in bots? Please throw them in the comments. While I'm waiting for questions, I'll answer this. And this is a common question that kind of comes up too. So if you have a more serious bot, what do you do? What kind of images do you put in there? I would say probably not a great place to use GIFs, those little short reaction videos. Not a great place to use those, but still you are absolutely going to want your brand, and your imagery in there, just because people need to bond with something. Now, here's an interesting situation that I ran into a couple weeks ago. I was building a bot, for Barn Rat Studios, yardgames.com. It's a great bot and it's all about the products that he sells. And so it was product based. It was, an inquiry about the yard games. What does he sell? What are the options? How much is it going to be? Usual questions that he has to stop the saw and answer every day. And so he said, can you build me a bot so that I can just come on at the end, help him with color selections, and then put the order in, that I don't have to go through people who are tire kicking me. And so we built him a product-based bot. Now, he didn't use as much imagery as I ask most people to use. He didn't use it in the normal place. Let's just say that. I put some imagery in there for him, but and it was definitely a picture of him taking a selfie with all of his yard games in the background. Definitely put the logo in there. So definitely put the branding in there. But what we also did was we saved a lot of the imagery because he's selling things that people need to see. So we saved a lot of the imageries for the project, the imagery for the product itself. So you may, play with my rule of thumb, which is every 3 to 4 text blocks, you want something in there, or you may decide to kind of centralize the images somewhere else. Do this though. It's a perfect time to experiment. It's the Wild West out there, darlings. People are doing all kinds of things with their messenger bots, and nobody's an expert right now because it's not really super possible to be an expert in a field that is constantly changing and brand new. So feel free to experiment. Feel free to try it one way. Choose 10 friends to test out on. Okay. 5 will agree. 3 will actually make it all the way through and give you good feedback, but feel free to experiment and test. See where you like these things. see how you're making them, and maybe you'll come up, maybe you'll tell me that there's a brand new way out there that's working. I'm totally open to that as well. Kim says, Teresa, you could use it to very short classes or courses. Oh, yes. Very good stuff. You can create practice quizzes using bots too, especially ones that have multiple choice. Oh, absolutely. Teresa, I'm just catching up here. Teresa, you're in education, interested to know how bots might be helpful in your industry. Oh, let me tell you, I'm building a bot right now. I'm building a bot for a college professor who is teaching his first year CPA students how to basically it's how to talk to people to fill out their tax forms, what kind of questions to ask, what kind of questions not to ask, the language that you need to use specifically. And I'm building him a bot that will help him do actual, he's going to write papers on it and do research, because he's going to teach people the normal way and then teach people using the bot, compare the two. Anyway, that was probably a little bit of an involved example, but I'm so excited about it. I'm excited about writing a tax bot, you guys. It's awesome, isn't it? Anyway, Kim was right. Using it for short quizzes from people. I have a friend who published a book, Hilda. It's a great book, everybody. It's about your inner naysayer. Great book. Anyway, she has a quiz her quiz is actually on another platform. When people finish the quiz, then they hit a button and they get into her bot cycle, in which she gives them a little bit further education about which category they belong into. And so that is a very interesting use. You can, of course, do quizzes right inside your bot. You don't have to go anywhere else for that. And to me, I like doing it that way because people are a tiny bit averse to quizzes right now, given what Facebook is going through and all of that kind of stuff. So for me, I'd rather have all of my conversation in one place, but some people kind of prefer some different platforms in the lead-in. Mini courses, challenges, giveaways, quizzes. I'm also going to be creating a bot for a course that I'm teaching in the fall. And it's going to be very similar to my tax bot because I teach IT people, like deeply brained computer science, see code in the back of their eyeballs, when they're doing other things. I teach deeply smart people how to communicate with the rest of us. I'm going to be using a bot for that too. Basically, there's this. This is what I tell everybody who says, well, what content am I going to do? How am I going to create a bot? I don't know what to write about. I want you now to take a piece of paper and I want you to write down the 7 questions that you are answering every day over and over and over again. We can develop that into a bot. We absolutely can, because anything that is repetitive like that, if you sell products, you get that stuff all of the time. Frequently asked questions. Taking the frequently asked questions on your website and transforming that into a great user experience in a bot, it is the best. It is absolutely the best, because then you can get the known stuff out of the way. And getting the known stuff out of the way is great for starting a conversation. This could be off topic. Teresa says, if it is, I apologize, but what is the investment scale for bots? Okay, my friend. Well, you've reached the right place. Your investment scale, if you absolutely want it to be, can be $10 a month. Now, that's the financial investment. If you can go to manychat.com. A pro account's $10 a month. It'll allow you 500 subscribers. I suggest the pro account because I love the pro tools. And they're vital for me, but you could do it for $0 a month, but it's going to be a lot of time on your part figuring out the different things. I, of course, have classes. If you are a do-it-yourselfer who wants to learn how to do this, I have got a ton of material out there in my course. But I also have templates. If you want to get started, if you want to just kind of, get started, but you don't want to start from a blank screen, I have templates, and I have videos with those templates that walk you through step by step how everything needs to be done. And so, you know what, Teresa, just get on my calendar. Get on my calendar. We'll talk about, what you want to do, because that's what it really depends on. If you want to start very simply to test this out, there is totally a way that you can do that. And you can do that for very little. If you really want to start talking about how to, scale this up in the future and the things that you want to do, there's a way to start on that as well. But in order to really tell you, the investment's going to be this much, then get on my calendar and we'll talk about it. And if you want to see all my templates and stuff, blackbeltbots.com/shop. I know, super creative, right? /shop. You'll see all my templates and stuff available right there. No, it's totally not off topic. Can the decision tree in a bot call another bot? Excellent question, Bill. So, the decision tree, can it call, let me ask you this, Bill. Call another Facebook Messenger bot? And answer me that. Or are you talking about other automatically scripted program stuff that is commonly called bots? Facebook Messenger bots or other types of bots? Tell me that, and I'll be able to answer your question better, Bill. Teresa says, I'm not tech oriented. Oh, that's fine, darling. You don't need to be. But I don't have a big budget. Yeah. Let's talk. Yeah. Test it out. Test it out. You know what I mean? The key with bots is consistency, as with everything else in social media. Okay. The key is consistency. I know. But the key is not being a tech genius with bots. You absolutely don't need to be a tech genius with bots. Yes, a Facebook Messenger bot. Okay. So you're in a situation where you've got maybe a question for somebody and it's a yes, no, and you want yes to lead to a different Facebook Messenger bot altogether. Now, you can totally do this. I will explain to you for just to take a second and say a bot is one bot per Facebook Messenger page, but a single bot can have many, 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 many sequences. So if you wanted to call up, if you wanted to do that, Bill, if you had something that you want inside a bot that you wanted to lead to an entire other Facebook Messenger bot, you could totally do that. Recommend telling them exactly where they're going to go, telling them exactly what's going on, because Facebook wants every single person to opt in. They want them to know what they're getting into. They want them to opt in, and they want them to know that they can opt out at any time. Facebook absolutely wants everybody to know that. And so do you, honestly. So you can totally do that. Or if you're really talking about sequences, which sometimes people mix up those two words, you can have an answer to a question in a bot call up another sequence at any time. Absolutely, they're made to do that. Okay. Kim says, wouldn't they still have to subscribe to a new bot? Yes, if you're calling up a new bot from a new page. So for instance, I have a page, Black Belt Bots. That's the one that I'm on. Perhaps I have, maybe I'm an entrepreneur with several side hustles, okay? And I want to, and it turns out that this person got into my bot through Black Belt Bots, but they're not super interested in Facebook Messenger stuff, but I've got a whole different side of my business that does websites. I've got a bot attached to a different page that just does like websites and marketing and stuff like that. And perhaps I want to take that person who's in the Black Belt Bots and switch them over to another different bot. I can absolutely do that, but I do need to explain, this is what's happening. You'll be going out to a different spot. You'll be subscribing somewhere else. Explain to people what's up. and why you're doing what you're doing. Give them a button to hit. And once they hit that button, then they still have to opt in to the bot, but that's just a button press. And if they're super interested, then they won't mind pressing a button. So absolutely. Kim, wouldn't they still have to subscribe? Oh, yeah. Hope I answered that question. Bill, let me know if I didn't answer that question appropriately, because I would love to. I'd love to talk to you about it. Yeah, you can totally call up another sequence. But again, if you are building two separate bots on two separate pages, and I did this, I actually built like when I was deciding to get into business doing, just focusing on messenger bots, I did write different bots for different pages. If you're writing different bots for different pages, that's totally fine. Just give each one their own little personality, their own little, branding. Be consistent in the branding for that bot. Now, those of you who are not wishing to, branch out into several, those of you who are wishing to start with one, tomorrow, actually, my friend Stephen Healy and I are doing a broadcast about growing your audience from one to many. A lot of times people have, huge amounts of audiences and things like that. My people, the people that I'm dealing with, are looking at going from a small number to a larger number. Maybe not, 5,000 people. I don't even know what I would do with 5,000 people in a bot. You guys, that is 5,000 conversations going on at once. This brain, only so big, will implode under pressure. So for me, I'm looking to build my audience, build my subscribership one at a time. So I'll get that show to you guys on the Black Belt Bots page. I'll share it to the Black Belt Bots page so you guys can see it too. But we're going to be talking about, how do you build your audience? How do you make that work? Growing your audience, something you need to work on. Absolutely. And so often it's one conversation at a time. So more questions, everybody. Questions about images, in bots, using video in bots, anything like that, or just general bot questions are cool too. Love you guys. Love my audience. This has been a lot of fun today. While I'm waiting for more questions here, I would love to talk too about something that I'm going to be getting into here pretty soon. And that is, I have, these shows are really great, but I think that they're just the start of really getting out there with some of this content. I don't see a lot of other bot builders talking about the same kinds of things that I talk about, which is great. I mean, we've all got our own niche. We've all got our own areas. For me, I want to empower small business owners. I want to give them the tools to be successful in messenger bots, because I think it is such a key to marketing your business. It's not even really marketing anymore. It's more about how many engaging conversations can I get into? How many people can I connect with? It's about starting a conversation in the bot and then taking that conversation offline, or not offline necessarily, to a face-to-face conversation though. And so that is some good stuff. Stacy says, I'll talk about my new thing in here in just a second. Stacy says, any good resources to help draft decision trees? Oh, I just love it. I love your questions, Stacy Brayuka. Come on my show every time. Come ask questions every time. So there are some really great resources out there. One of them is very, very simple. And if you're not into technology, totally do this. I want you to go to a clear spot of wall in your home or apartment. And I want you to grab a stack of Post-it notes on your way there, a marker, and start to plan out things that you would like to say, conversations that you'd like to have. If you've never been exposed to a bot before, go to checkoutmybot.com. And get into mine, and you'll start to see what the results of the bot are, what all of, we do a lot of prep on the backside, but you'll be able to see what a user sees. And that is really important to start to develop the conversation in your head. If you are low tech, and many people are, then once you see how that conversation happens, how bots work, take a stack of Post-it notes, go to a wall, and start mapping out the things that you want to say, the questions that you want to ask people. What will you say to them if they say yes? What will you say if they say no? That kind of stuff. That'll be really useful for you. There is also, Stacy, because I know you are into technology, there are also programs out there. One is called BotMock. It is specifically for Facebook Messenger bots and ManyChat. For me, I don't love. For me, I tried it out and it was like, yeah, if I wanted to get into the technology here, I could totally do it. And it was really exciting. But then I saw the price and I went, can't I just do this on my own? And I do. So I hope that's helpful for you, because yeah, there is software out there. Also, I tend to use my iPad a lot. I tend to use mind mapping, BotMock. Let me throw that up for you on the screen there, Stacy. They just sent me a nice email today. I think it's .com. Hopefully it is. But BotMock is the name of the product if you want to get in there and jazz that stuff up. And of course, if you ever want to just start from a template, then my templates are located right on my website, and there's a lot to choose from there. You already think in decision trees, woman. I know. I can't even help it nowadays. I'm talking to people, I'm meeting new people, and I'm thinking, well, this is how they could totally use a bot in their business right now, or nonprofits. I'm always kind of constantly thinking about that, not necessarily so I can make a sale. That's fine. I don't need to make a sale, but I love the exercise of going, how would a messenger bot help? And I think they could help an awful lot of people. So yeah, I totally think in decision trees. That's me. Very good. Well, my darlings, that about rounds it up for today's show. Again, going on with Be Live in 5 tomorrow, we're going to talk about growing your audience. Now, that group that we're going live on a page and then going into a group, live streamers, all of them. So they're building their audience through live streams, but all of the same principles apply for messenger bots. And so we're going to be talking about growing your subscribership. And how do you do that? How do you do that when you maybe have two friends who will attend a live stream or get into a bot or something like that? How do you start from small? That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And then on Thursday, I'm right back here, Black Belt Bots. We're going to talk about broadcasts, how to engage your audience. Once you've gotten them into the bot, once you've gotten them to the party, keeping people engaged, still giving out that valuable information and content and keeping on their top of mind. Super easy to do in the bot. And we're going to take one type of broadcast on Thursday and break it down. And I'm going to show you how that works to keep your audience that is already subscribed to your bot engaged with your material. Teresa, you do a lot of live. Fantastic. Darling, hit up the Be Livers group. Let's do this. This is what it's called on Facebook. Got about 6,000 members. Hit that group up on Facebook. About 6,000 members. Super nice people in there, and it's all about live streaming. You do not have to have the Be Live product to do that. And Be Live is a great product. I mean, I'm using it right now. So yeah. And there's also a free version of that if you're interested. So hit that up. That might help you. That might help you long term as you are thinking about live streaming. Fantastic, Teresa. I'm glad to hear you do a lot of live. I love live. I can't get enough of it. clearly. So that's the rest of my week. I am also thinking about doing a little show where I do a review of one of your bots. So if you have a bot out there and you are okay, I will do a free review for you right online. You can ask me questions. We'll get other people in there as well, and just talk about, I'll give you some pointers on what could be improved, if anything. Give you love, all of that kind of stuff. If you'd like your bot reviewed by somebody who does them for a living, I want to do that in an upcoming show. So tag me on this thread. Let me know. Or just PM me, or if you're in my bot already, just talk to me in there, and I will be doing some of that stuff in the future. So do let me know. And also here in the future, coming up pretty quickly, I'm going to be, taking my lives here. I already take them and I kind of zhuzh them a little bit, and I put them on YouTube. But I'm also going to be putting them into some places where voice is king right now, and doing that. So I'm going to be putting it on Alexa and doing a podcast and stuff like that. So get ready for that in the future, everybody. This Facebook Messenger stuff is the stuff that we are going to be talking about for 5 years. So thank you for joining me today. I love you. If you've got a question about bots, ping me. If I have got 5 minutes, I will return that and talk to you about bots. And if you want to get on my calendar, just say so. Say the word, and a half hour of my time will be yours. So, darlings, that's all for today. Thanks again for joining me. You guys are the best. And I will see you in a bot.